All right. Peace, love, and elevation. We are here today. I am your host, Shanon X, also known as LaRue Heru, and I am here with Achak, the creative and the owner of the brand 9silkvibrations, and we are talking about the science of crystals and how it relates to the body. So I'm going to give this brother the floor to introduce himself and share a story. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I'm grateful to be here, man.
Yes, sir.
Be coming through the airways with you, man, on Melanated Elevation.
Love it.
And yeah.
Man, I'm glad to be here, brother, with you. So, yeah, man, so just tell us about yourself, man. You know, are you, because right now we currently are in Texas, right?
Yes.
So I would like to ask, are you originally from Texas?
No, I'm not originally from Texas. I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
And raised in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, so that's pretty much. And then, after, I would say after the summer of 2015, I relocated to Dallas, Texas, and I've been here ever since.
Okay, definitely. Well, was there anything like significant that happened in life that encouraged that move to Texas for you? Like, or is there anything about Texas that you resonated with before coming here?
Honestly, kind of, sorta. Not much, because I didn't really know much about Texas at all. I had never been here before. I didn't know any people here, so it was really just really trying something new.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much what that was. Also, I feel like it was just time for me to pretty much do a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? Be in a new environment, so that I could continue to just do what I needed to do and develop how I needed to develop. Especially at that time, that was the vibe I was feeling, that I needed something new. So, boom, came out here.
Okay, definitely, brother. I resonate with that, and that's interesting that you say that. I have a similar story with myself as far as what attracted me to Texas too. I want to ask you. So before we started this interview, you set the tone for the space, right?
Absolutely.
And some of the things that you did was, or one of the main things that stood out was inviting all of the different elements, such as the wind, the fire by lighting some candles and some sage, right? Got water here. So what is the importance of having the elements present?
Well, man, I love to, honor and incorporate the elements into whatever I'm doing, because they make up everything in our reality, and they make up everything that we see. So, really, we already incorporate the elements in everything that we're doing. But, when you intentionally incorporate the elements, it basically, it paves the way for you to be able to create and manifest and just, actualize whatever you're intending on doing. So, and it really just aligns the energies in the space that you're working in, so that you can just, do whatever it is you're trying to do. And, I brought in all the elements, and then one of the elements that was pretty much already present was the crystals. So, to represent the earth. And yeah.
Okay. I like that, man. Especially just being in tune with nature. It's just something about just feeling the wind, feeling the breeze on your skin, just grounding, just feeling the earth between your feet, just feeling the sun hit you, man. It's definitely a healing scenery, right?
Oh yeah, indescribable, man.
Man. So tell us about 9silkvibrations. How did you come up with that name, and what is it? What's the story behind 9silkvibrations?
Well, the story behind 9silkvibrations is basically me wanting to utilize crystals and share, the divine frequencies that they give off with my community, my peers, and the rest of the world. And really, I just felt like it was what I should do at that time. And, as I continue on, and it kind of just, I don't know, it was like, I got the vibe like, oh man, I should do this. I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm gonna do it. So ever since then, it just been, kind of developing and growing and unraveling since that day. It's been a journey, just from having the thought and the idea of doing 9silk vibrations, and then to actually like manifesting it and actually like moving on behalf of 9silk vibrations. It's been a fulfilling journey so far. And basically, what inspired the name was the importance of the number 9, being that it's the highest number, single digit number. And then also, it's the 9 ether, you know what I'm saying? It encompasses the science of the 9 ether. So just really emitting that frequency and just like sharing the number 9 with the world was important to me, because once I, stepped into the awareness of what the number 9 meant to me, and just, to nature and things like that, I felt like, it was mandatory to rock with the number 9 or incorporate it into what I was doing. And also, I'm a life path number 9 as well. So that made it even more of a natural thing for me to just, carry with me, as far as with the name. But and then the silk comes from the spider silk, because spider silk is actually one of the strongest materials in the world based off of tensile strength. And so I always thought that was very, fascinating to me. And I always had a appreciation for spiders and, the divine energy that they emanate through their existence. So I wanted to carry that with me as well. And also silk, when it comes to like the silken thread, it is the connecting medium for, the spider. And basically it's the tool that they use to sustain their life. So I kind of connected that silk with copper, and I kind of viewed that as my way to connect divine frequencies, connect, the crystals, connect people together, like, and really just bring everything together that I'm, working on, manifesting and just putting together for the community and, the world, for the people. So I always saw that like copper was like my silk, it was like my tool to, just connect everybody and use as a, utilize the conductive energy of the copper to, just do it. So that's how the silk ties into the name. And then the vibrations, because really just, vibrations is everything, everything is vibrating. So really just to put the stamp on the name, vibrations is at the end, because, what's being given is the vibrations of the 9 and the silk. And, it's 9silk vibrations. So that's where that part kind of comes in at, because, vibration is everything, you know what I'm saying? Very important. So even just to like show the importance of that word, just to have it at the end of the name I chose, I felt like was important, because everybody needs to know about vibrations and why they're important. So it's just another thing I wanted to add on to complete the name.
For sure. Man, who would even thought that, like, the fact that you see copper as your web of connecting with others in the community, you know, just the same way that spiders use the silk of their web to build their home and also just connect those interlinks, if you will, right? So it's very interesting how you correlated the two together, you know. Man, that's really dope, man.
Gratitude.
And I definitely resonate with the vibration too, because we talk about the law of vibration.
Oh, yeah.
And then you want to get into quantum physics, bro. Like everything is vibrating. Like scientists say that everything we see is really 99.999% space, like space, empty space. So we may look physical, things may look like it's physical, but if we really zoom in, there's subatomic particles that are vibrating and they don't connect to where it's one full solid form or figure, you know, but it's slowed down enough to where it appears physical with the naked eye. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, sir.
That, you know, that in itself is like, it's crazy. It's kind of trippy, man. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to the illusionary nature of this world, you know, because like you said, you know, things are appearing to be solid and not moving, but everything is moving. You know, and just to be truthful, so it's cool.
So with that, I wanted to ask, so you came to the idea of 9silkvibrations by following your passion for crystals, right? So that was already in place before you came to manifestation of 9silkvibrations.
Well, not exactly.
Okay.
Just because I kind of got into the crystals, it kind of happened like one thing after another.
Okay.
Is how it pretty much went, because I had got into the crystals, and then from just learning a little bit about them and being curious and whatnot, I just kind of became more passionate and, you know, further went on to start what I'm doing now.
Okay. So what is it that, because it leads into that, like, what is it that inspired your passion for crystals? Like, what is it that made them stand out to you? I was like, you know what? I want to get more into this. I want to learn more about it. You know, I want to see how I can use them to help me. What was that like for you?
Well, it all started because I was shopping for a gift for my mom's birthday, and shoot, you know, just shopping around thinking like, yo, you know, what can I get mom for her birthday?
Yeah.
And whatnot, and a lot of cool stuff, you know, things, different options, because I was actually in Maui, and basically I went to a small shop that a lady had where she had like souvenirs, jewelry, you know, just different things she was selling. And I stopped by and went in and just began looking at everything that she had, looking for a gift. And I saw that she had some crystals. And I was aware of crystals before, you know, I seen them in her store and whatnot. You know, I definitely heard of them, but never really looked into them for myself or really just got into working with them or purchased any at all for that matter. So saw some cool crystals and stones. And I ended up getting a gift from my mom. And also, like, I think I got a crystal bracelet that had some lava stone, malachite, and tiger. And those were the first crystals that I got.
Okay.
And dude, I enjoyed them, you know, just working with them. And
were you aware of what they meant at the time that you got them?
Nah, not exactly at the time, because, you know, right then and there, you know, I was just looking at them and appreciating them for the natural beauty they were giving off. So I didn't know exactly what they meant, but really more so the colors behind them that really made me get them. Just because, I feel like that's how it always goes with crystals. Because they, vibrate at their different color frequencies. So what attracts a person to a crystal, sometimes is the color frequency of the crystal that is given off. Because it could be resonating with that individual for a specific reason. So I think that's what initially really made me get the crystals that I did. Really just the colors behind them. And after I got them, I looked into the energetic properties of the crystals that I had just bought. From there, just worked with them and vibed with them and everything like that. And that was pretty much just like my introduction to crystals.
Okay.
So it was like from there, that situation opened the door for me to just continue to learn about crystals more, also buy more crystals and things of that nature. It just kind of went on from there.
Okay. Yeah, man. That's kind of how it happened for me too. I was in Kansas City at the time, man, and I didn't really know what I was doing for real. I'm like, okay, cool. Like how it started was I would look into frequencies of meditation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm learning how important energy is. Okay, cool. Then I went into this polarity of only wanting to operate optimistically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just starting off, I didn't have a full understanding of the importance of all energies and stuff like that. I would be talking with some people, and this would be mostly women that were spiritual at the time. They were into crystals. They would tell me, this crystal helps with this. And I was like, I didn't really fully understand it, but it's like I'm willing to just follow it at least somewhat blindly, at least until I have a better understanding. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I remember is that I was told that crystals are, because we talk about how everything is, this is a quote by Nikola Tesla as well, but everything was saying like, everything in the world is energies, frequencies, and vibrations, right? If you want to understand the world better, you got to see it through the lens of energies, frequencies, and vibrations.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so what kind of helped with the understanding of crystals is like, they were like, crystals are a crystallized vibration, right? So what are your thoughts on as far as crystals being an actual vibration, and does that tie into how like the attraction for each individual, because we're all vibrating at a certain frequency or energy level, and when it comes to crystals that we might resonate with or gravitate towards, do you think that plays a part as well as the vibration of the crystal itself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because the crystal's vibration is coming from the color, frequency that it's emitting, and then also the elements that make up the crystal.
Okay.
And the arrangement of these elements and the structure is what would be giving the crystal that frequency that one would, be attracted to or seem drawn to. So, yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Okay. How would you may have already answered this too, but let's say somebody is new to the idea of crystals. Like, how would you break down a quick understanding to, like, an introductory understanding of crystals?
Well, I would say that first off, crystals are the DNA, and they're really the DNA of the earth. And they are the children of the earth, just like we are, just in a different manifestation or form. And also they are conductors of energy, different types of energies. They are stores of information, intentions, what else would I say about crystals? They're alive. They're alive, and also, like us, they, have an electromagnetic field that can benefit our magnetic field by helping stabilize it, ground, our electromagnetic field or aura, and amplify it. And, also just physically, like crystals are used in a lot of our modern technology, from computers, phones, TVs, watches, cars, medical equipment, and even more things. So, our world is made up of crystals, not entirely, but crystals is the main material that, makes up our world, crystal structures for sure. So I would say, they're really important in our everyday life already, unbeknownst to someone that doesn't use crystals. So to shift your awareness to the importance of utilizing the crystals for your rise, your elevation is essential. So I would just really make that, those points be known so that, this individual can get a better understanding of the true value and nature and purpose of the crystals.
Okay. Is there anything that you feel like, let's just say, because there's people from all different walks of life that's starting to resonate with crystals now. Let's just say that, somebody who grew up in a city life, well, this can really go to anybody, but what are some things that you feel like we should be mindful of or cautious about when it comes to implementing crystals into our day-to-day?
Some things to be mindful of or cautious about when working with the crystals would be, one, your treatment of the crystals and, how you're handling them, because some crystals are very tough and just like, solid and not as easily breakable, and some are more sensitive and, easy to damage. And, some crystals, if you damage them or break them, they can be harmful to your health. So I would say really just watch how you're handling them, like tiger's eye, for example. If it's crushed, it could be toxic if inhaled. So, just things like that. Or like with selenite, you want to make sure you keep it dry, because you could compromise the form of the crystal, by allowing it to be, touched by the water too much. You could dissolve it and really just, compromise the whole form of the crystal that you have. So really just being careful in that aspect when it comes to the physical workings with the crystal. And then also, more so on the metaphysical side, really just purifying your intentions when you're using crystals, making sure that, you have a pure intention when you use crystals for your rise, your elevation, and really just for righteousness, a righteous purpose, to help yourself, help others, heal yourself, help heal others, things of that nature, because the crystals have a divine essence. So, they were meant to be utilized for righteousness and, carrying out and also amplifying and emanating these divine frequencies. So I would definitely say that's something you want to be aware of. And also cleansing your crystals and making sure that they are cleared and cleansed of any unwanted or, unoriginal energy that may be residing, within the crystal. Because, some crystals can absorb negativity, and if you got the crystal working hard, absorbing the negative energy that you're interacting with. After so long, you want to purify that crystal and cleanse it so that you can get it back to its original frequency, its purest, highest frequency, so that, it continues to work in the best way that it can.
Okay. Can you name 3 ways that we can purify or cleanse the crystals?
Yes. So one of my favorites is purifying it with the energy of the sun, and just allowing it to sit out in the sun and charge and be purified by the light. And also, when you put it out in the grass in the sun, you're also grounding the crystal as well, because it's sitting right on the raw earth. So you're grounding the energies of the crystal and charging it with earth energy as well. So I like that method a lot. You can also use the air element to purify the crystal by smudging with sage or Palo Santo or Yerba Sante, and purify the crystal with the smoke from the incense of your choice. And I also want to add, with both of those methods, you also want to use your throat chakra energy and speak and affirm the cleansing and the purifying of the crystal to really just carry out that intention of purifying the crystal. And then the last one I would say would be water. Some crystals you can purify with water, like some jaspers, amethyst, and quartz. They are safe to be purified with water. And also your intention as well. And then extra one I could throw in there that some people like to utilize is the moon to charge or purify the crystal. And that's one way you can also charge and purify your crystal with the moonlight.
Okay. Is there like a real difference between charging with the sun or with the moon?
Yes, definitely. So like charging it with the sun is powerful because you're using that masculine energy, that light energy, that pure divine masculine light energy, and that in itself powerful and unique. That's that yang energy. So the sun, utilizing that yang energy and getting it done. But with the moon, it will be more so the yin energy and just a softer energy, but still powerful, because also, when you got your crystals out in the night, the light of the night, they're also under the stars, and they are being, charged with the energy of the stars as well. So, that's always a powerful route too. So basically, my preferred method is the sun, just because, the sun is powerful when it comes to purification, because even when it comes to just standing outside, you'll sweat, and that's the sun purifying you right there. So just the fact that the purifying energy of the sun is really just evident. You know what I'm saying? It's just like boom, this is it right here. With the moon, it's a little more subtle for sure. And I feel like it's it's that yin energy, so it's like it's a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted, when you spoke about the intentions of crystals, right, or at least how we use them, right? You got some people, especially people who may consider themselves to be religious, will say, "Oh, crystals are demonic," or they put this negative connotation on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even in the Bible, in Revelations 21:9-27, the King James Version, right? I even have it pulled up. It says that, and it describes a vision of New Jerusalem. An angel shows John the holy city descending from heaven, radiant with God's glory, resembling a precious jasper stone. The city was a high wall with 12 gates, each guarded by an angel named after the 12 tribes of Israel. And its foundations are adorned with various precious stones, and the city itself is made of pure gold, right? So I wanted to kind of read a couple verses from that, just to, speak to that particular audience as far as how they can, just to kind of clear up that confusion that they have with the idea of crystals within that dynamic. So starting with verse 11, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. At the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So, continuing on, right? So, okay, here we go. So, and the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony. Did I say that correctly? Chalcedony. And the fourth an emerald. The fifth sardonyx. The sixth sardius. The seventh chrysolite. The eighth beryl. The ninth topaz. The 10th chrysosporus. Chrysosporus. The 11th, the jacinth, and the 12th, an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as were transparent glass. So it's in the Bible, man.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
All right.
And it's talking about how the holy city of New Jerusalem, and how each gate represents these crystals, right? So speaking about gates and crystals, I want to get into the different chakra systems, and like how, first, how important it is to program crystals, because one thing that I believe is, quote unquote inanimate objects are neutral, right? Until the will of a sentient being is enforced upon it. So no sentient beings can be us, right? So with that being said, how important is it to program your crystals, and is it programmed by the influence of our intention? So that would be the first question leading into that. And then afterwards, I would like to get into, at least one crystal that resonate with each chakra point to relate to the gates, the crystals that related to those 12 gates as well.
Okay. So first, I gotta say, man, I love that excerpt from the Bible, because I've honestly never heard that one, but it's powerful in itself. Just the way it presents the crystals, and just the whole, scenario, what's going on, talking about the New Jerusalem and things of that nature. I think that's powerful, and I definitely want to, dive further into that, on my own time, as far as the research and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
But programming the crystals is very important, because the crystals are like devices. So, just like any other device has to be programmed, like a phone, computer, tablet, crystal is, has to go through the same process of being imparted with a program for a specific intention to, do its best to carry out that intention. So, yes, it's very important, like you were saying. I definitely agree. And it's really, programming the crystal is how you're going to get the most use or benefits from the crystal. And really just, how you're going to tune in with that crystal, like, as much as you can, would be from programming it, acknowledging it, respecting the crystal, and really just building a relationship with the crystal. And I feel like that starts with your intention that you program it with.
Okay, definitely. So we program the crystals with our intentions, and that comes from like the intentions of. So with where we are naturally in that state, do we approach it with the mental intention, or do we need to also align the energetic, like the energy that we are resonating with in that moment? Do we need to align it with that intention first before we even think about programming the crystal?
I would say yes, because you do want to have the, you want the intention to be like in its highest potency,
Okay.
so that when you program the crystal, that it, you get the most out of the program that you do. And also, it's important to know that you want to make sure that the crystal that you're using is in alignment with the intention and the program that you are looking to, imbue on the crystal.
Okay, because like for example,
that's really important.
Okay, definitely. So let's say I wasn't in the best of spaces, right? And let's just say I want to use a crystal to put me in a good mood, but I'm mad, I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? I'm just upset with life or myself or whatever it is. And it's like they talk about, let's say I had a rose quartz crystal, and that's something that is that's good at promoting love. And I have it. I may not feel the love, but I have the crystal around me, or at least I'm focused on the crystal, like, when there's love gonna kick in, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, does that kind of go into play as far as like, we have to be more hands-on and accountable for our energy? Like, we gotta meet halfway. We can't just say, crystal, do your job.
For sure. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Okay, so with that being said, because we know there's studies show that there's more than just 7 chakra points. But as far as that's along the base of that's along the spine, there are 7 chakra points.
Right.
So with that being said, brother, do you recommend, let's just say, you know what, I would like to learn more about crystals. I already have an idea of energy. Each chakra point pretty much touches on, all attributes of the self. So what would be one crystal that you would recommend for each chakra point? It can be more than one if you like, but at least one.
Right. So first, we can start, of course, at the root.
The root chakra.
Base. Yep. So for the root chakra, which vibrates at the color frequency of red, I would recommend a red jasper or a carnelian agate or a garnet, because all of those crystals are really good for grounding your energy and really balancing that root chakra energy. And they all, each one of those crystals have their own characteristics and attributes that make them unique for working with the root chakra. So those would be my recommendations. Or, also, I don't want nobody to sleep on the black ray, the black color ray for, your root chakra as well, because it's very powerful. You got all of the black crystals like black tourmaline, black kyanite, obsidian, larvacite, and things like that, like shungite. They are very, very powerful stones. And, usually most of the black crystals, because they have so much carbon in them, they are really good for blocking EMF radiation and things of that nature. And, also absorbing or deflecting negative energy from your aura and, your space, wherever you have the crystal at, pretty much. So black or the red ray is the most important and ideal for the root chakra. But I also gotta mention too the brown ray as well.
Okay.
Like picture jasper. You got some brown agates. There are also a lot of jaspers that have the brown color in them as well. Sandstone. And the brown energy is very important because, that one is going to be really more attuned to Mother Earth and really just tuning in and grounding your energy and really just harmonizing with, Mother Earth, so I feel like when it comes to the root chakra, brown ray, the black ray, and the red ray are the most important. And then, so now we move up to the sacral chakra, which would vibrate at the orange color ray. And some crystals I would recommend for that chakra would be, you have orange aventurine, sometimes they call it peach aventurine. You got orange calcite, it's a very powerful one. I love that one. It's something I just started working with a little bit more recently. And it's got a really good fiery energy and it's very good for igniting and kindling that inner fire, and keeping you in tune with your passion and your creative energy. So
I also seen orange selenite. Now, selenite was a crystal that you mentioned before, and how it can dissolve in water. So it's to be mindful of the exposure to that element. But to my knowledge, I've only seen white selenite. So orange selenite is kind of new. What are your thoughts on orange selenite?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because it's a really good crystal for the sacral chakra and also for just, aligning the chakra system, because selenite, that's one of the things that it just does naturally. So just the addition of the orange color ray incorporated with the orange selenite adds even more of a fiery and igniting energy to the alignment of your energetic, chakras and, just your aura and things of that nature. So me personally, I haven't worked with orange selenite before, but I love to work with selenite itself. So I'm very, very familiar with the selenite. So I know that, orange selenite would just be, a great tool to utilize in balancing that sacral chakra.
Okay, yes, sir. I just wanted to ask that, man, because it was just something that came to mind. I used to work at a crystal shop before, and that was a new addition. So I was like, I didn't know if, they talk about man-made crystals and natural-made crystals. So I didn't know which side of that fell on. It sounded like the color of the crystal resonates with the color of the chakra as well.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like that's an important indicator of which crystals, help either benefit, channel, and heal those energy centers. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep, that's the idea, man. For sure.
Yes, sir. And so I didn't mean to, interrupt your flow of the different crystals that work with the sacral chakra. And if you want to go from there or, expound on to the next.
Right. So, and then one last one I like to throw in for the sacral chakra too is orange kyanite. Very powerful crystal. I love kyanite, and the orange variation is powerful in itself just because, it's working with that fire energy, that creative expression coming from the center, the sacral chakra. So, but also kyanite, all kyanites are very good for aligning your entire chakra system as well.
All kyanite.
Yup. So that even working with that orange kyanite will help, balance your whole chakra system. So that's a really powerful one.
Okay.
I wanted to definitely mention in there. But, if we're going to keep going, we would have to go on to the
solar plexus.
Solar plexus, exactly. I love that one, man. It's a powerful chakra because it's dealing with your willpower, which is, it also deals with, confidence, determination, and, just productivity and just getting things done.
Indeed.
So
the core.
Absolutely. The core, man, it's real powerful. That's the inner sun, that inner light. You feel me? The source of that inner light. The solar plexus, it vibrates the color ray of yellow, and some crystals that would be good for the solar plexus and just balancing the energy would be, you got yellow calcite, you have peridot. Now peridot is really cool because it's good for the heart chakra and the solar plexus. So, it's a two bird, one stone type scenario when it comes to peridot, and also preonite, which is another stone that's good for balancing the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. And, both of them, preonite specifically, is very good for aligning your will with your heart and, carrying out the desires and the intentions of the heart, through utilizing the willpower. So preonite and peridot are some of my favorites to work with for the solar plexus.
Okay.
Some people like citrine, and I think that one is really great as well, but because it's a quartz-based crystal, and it's powerful, but all citrine is not yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like that's cool. It's not a problem, but it's just like if you really want to work with that yellow ray, that yellow ray of light, I would say even things like bumblebee jasper be good, or yellow opal is great as well.
Okay.
Even mucalite jasper, because mucalite jasper is a jasper that's unique to Australia. It comes from the Mucalite River in Australia, and that one is cool because it pretty much balances the whole lower chakra system. The solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. Because mucalite jasper is sometimes red, yellowish, a little bit of orange in there. So it's really good for the whole lower chakra system.
Multi-purpose.
Yup. So
yes, sir.
That's what I would say. Or those are a few crystals I would recommend for working with solar plexus and the chakras surrounding it too. And then from there we would move up to the heart chakra. And man, I love the heart chakra too, man. It's one of my favorites because it's really the center. You know what I'm saying? And that is that's the middle point of the whole system.
Right.
So
like a bridge.
Absolutely, man. I love that you painted it in that light, because it's like the gateway to the higher frequencies and the higher dimensions. You got to work your way up, and then once you balance and expand that heart chakra, man, it gets beautiful, more and more beautiful from there, man.
Indeed.
It's like it's wonderful. So crystals that are good for working with the heart chakra would be green aventurine, green kyanite. It's so many, like I can name so many, man, because it's just a lot of them.
Right.
But a green kyanite is very powerful. You got the ones I already mentioned, peridot and preonite are also good for the heart chakra. You have fuchsite, kabama jasper, one of my favorites, ruby and zoistite, which is really good for not just your heart chakra, but the root, third eye, and the heart. And because ruby and fuchsite it's two stones together. You got ruby in there, and you got your, ruby and zoistite was what I was. Exactly. There is a ruby infusite, but that's something different.
Okay.
But the ruby and zoistite is, the ruby stone inside of zoistite, which is, its own powerful crystal in its own right. So I love that one because that crystal comes with the color frequencies of green, red, and black. So, and then sometimes like white, a little bit of a translucent mixed color. And it's just really beautiful.
Indeed.
So that one, you got green fluorite. Yeah, I mean, from there, I feel like that's enough to, do what you need to do and really lock in and balance and harmonize your heart chakra. And, just from researching them crystals, going out and getting them, you can, just go from there.
Yeah. Then from the heart chakra, it would be at the throat chakra.
Absolutely.
And that gives off a light blue hue.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what are some crystals that will go into that, and what is the importance of making sure that the throat chakra is up to par or in a good place or open, as they say?
Well, first I want to say I prefer the term balance because, when it comes to just something being open, it's not always good for something of yours to be open because it can be infiltrated by, unwanted energies and whatnot. So I think it's important to remember that we want to balance chakras and master chakras as well. So to speak to balancing the throat chakra,
I see you have a painting over there.
Yeah, man, my first one, man. I'm grateful, and I look forward to sharing that and more with everybody, man. But I would say the crystals I would recommend working with for the throat chakra, I would say you got lapis lazuli, very powerful crystal for the throat and third eye. You got labradorite. Them are two of my favorites. Labradorite is very powerful for the entire higher chakra system, being the throat, third eye, and crown. Then you have aquamarine. You got sodalite. What else we got? Blue kyanite, and you got blue calcite as well. Blue lace agate. All of those are very powerful crystals for the throat because they're gonna help you just really relax and express yourself peacefully in a calm manner, and really just like attune yourself with the energy of your highest self-expression, and also speaking from the heart and just speaking up for yourself, and being vocal, and also expressing yourself creatively too, because that's one of the main ideas when it comes to working with the throat chakra. So those would be just a few good crystals to work with. All of them are very powerful crystals, and I gave y'all a couple of my favorites, and just to speak to a couple of the properties of some of my favorites.
Yeah, sure.
Like labradorite, that one is very good for bringing in just divine light energy, because it actually has a property called labradorescence, and that is when when you move the crystal, you see the play of light within the crystal as it interacts with any light that hits it. So it's a really beautiful phenomena that happens within the stone that just speaks to the light within our vessels, and really channeling and expanding that light. It's also good for protecting your aura, your electromagnetic field, and keeping negativity out, and really just fortifying your aura. So that's why I really love labradorite. Also good for, manifesting and making, creating your world with your words. It's one of those crystals really good for that.
Okay.
And then another one, throat chakra crystal, that's one of my favorites, would be that blue kyanite, as I mentioned earlier. And it's really good for just bringing peace and facilitating the flow of divine energy and etheric energy, and really communicative energy, and communicating efficiently and effectively with others, your peers, your environment, things of that nature. So that would be the throat chakra. But after that, we would have the third eye chakra. Some like to refer to it as the first eye chakra. And this is the energy center dealing with intuition, seeing beyond illusion and the veil, and really just visualization, your vision, inner vision, and things of that nature. And some crystals that I would recommend for balancing this chakra would be lapis lazuli, again, like I already mentioned, dumortierite, which is a very powerful crystal from the Blu-ray. And let's see, we got sodalite again, because it's also good for your throat and your third eye. And sapphire. Let's see, what else? Neon apatite, one of my favorites. And that one is good mainly for the third eye, but I feel like you could also utilize that crystal for balancing your throat chakra as well. But it's good for the third eye because it's just really good for amplifying your awareness and your visualization abilities, and also utilizing a modality called vertical vision, where basically you allow yourself to see, your reality or a scenario you may be in from exo-standing perspective, or like a bird's eye view, and really just seeing a situation or scenario or your reality from a higher perspective, kind of from a perspective of looking down into, whatever it is you're analyzing. And it's a very, powerful experience to do so. And neon apatite is good for facilitating the flow of working with that modality. So, you could call that a meditation, a type of meditation, or also working with your first eye or your third eye. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So from there though, I would say you got the crown chakra, and that vibrates at the color ray of violet, purple, and white, sometimes orange. So
that would represent like universal consciousness and like oneness.
Oneness, universal consciousness.
And knowing.
Yep, the knowing, connection to divinity. Really like also the gateway for bringing in those higher frequencies, because it's at the top of your head.
Right.
So some crystals that are good for balancing that chakra would be amethyst. That's one of my favorites. I love amethyst. I feel like everybody, you gotta appreciate amethyst, right?
Yes, sir.
That, you got purple fluorite. Now, fluorite is powerful. I mentioned it when I was speaking on the heart chakra, but it's powerful because they have rainbow fluorite, and rainbow fluorite has the colors of green, blue, and purple, sometimes clear. So that rainbow fluorite will really be perfect for working with the whole higher chakra system, because it incorporates all of those color rays represented by the entire higher chakra system. So rainbow fluorite would be excellent for working with any of the higher chakras, including the crown. You also have lepidolite, is a purple crystal that is very good for working with that crown. And all of the purple crystals, they emanate a vibration of peace and just a very peaceful energy, very relaxing and calming energy that I love. And, you will learn to love as you work with these crystals. And then you got crystals like snow quartz or white quartz, which is a variation of quartz, but it's all white. And it pretty much has the same properties and energy as clear quartz, but a little bit softer and more gentle, but still brings the same power though as the clear quartz, and has that power of amplification and just really adding on to the energy of the crystals that are already around it. And then also I like to add in labradorite is good for the crown chakra as well. A white lace agate or white agate is good for working with the crown. Selenite is another good one. Clear quartz, of course, is good for the crown, but also for any chakra you can utilize the clear quartz. Celestite is one of my favorites because it's good for the throat chakra as well because it's a light blue color, but celestite is really for working with that celestial energy that comes from the higher dimensions and really incorporating that into our chakra system. So that's the reason why I love celestite, because it's a very celestial and etheric crystal, that celestite. And it's good for, like I was saying, the throat and the crown. So that would be it right there. And
it's like an ice blue.
Yeah.
It's like there's a sense of like transparency to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I love the celestite. So I would say, those are the, just a few of the crystals you could utilize in gratitude for working with crown chakra. A few of my favorites that will definitely get the job done, help you elevate and help you integrate the higher frequencies into your aura and whatnot, so that you can, elevate and just do everything that you need to do.
Okay.
While you're down here.
Yes, sir. So real quick, before we move on to the last few questions of this segment, can you give just three crystals that incorporates all chakras in one, as far as why we would associate with one crystal for one particular chakra for the healing benefits, and just to cleanse that chakra and to heal and balance that chakra. What are 3 crystals that can help balance all chakras at once?
All right, so 3 off the top of my head that I know that will balance all chakras at once would be your kyanites, clear quartz, and selenite. Okay. Those 3 are very powerful for working with the entire chakra system. So, if you are looking to just get maybe one crystal for working with, or just to start working with one crystal first, I would recommend any of those 3, kyanite, clear quartz, or selenite, because they are very ideal for every chakra and balancing every chakra, harmonizing every chakra, and really just, balancing your entire chakra system. So right now, I can't really think of any more than those 3. I'm sure it is more.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, those would be the 3 that I would recommend to balance your entire chakra system. Start with those.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Because I know there are people who's like, can't get all of those, or maybe that's too much for me right now to digest.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we just gotta start where we can. I know that's kind of like what's my thought process. So I'm like, okay, which one will help with all of them?
Right,
so
no, for sure. Definitely as you start off and you beginning, because
yeah,
I feel like it's kind of important the first crystal that you choose, because it speaks to what you need at the time, really. Because when you first choosing a crystal, you're kind of just picking something. You don't really know a million things about what you're selecting, but you're just kind of going off your instinct, your intuition, just picking what speaks to you the most.
Mm.
So, yeah, those are some good first ones.
Okay. So I know you touched on this next question I'm going to ask. I know you touched on this throughout, this entire episode, but, I'll ask, what are some similarities between how a crystal functions and how the human body functions, right? So we know that there has to be some type of correspondence there for there even to be a crystal associated with each chakra point.
Mm-hmm.
And for there to even be a relationship between crystals and people to begin with, there has to be something there, right? So what to your knowledge, and what are your thoughts on just some of the similarities between how crystals function and how the human body functions?
Well, so first I would say both crystals and the human body have an electromagnetic field surrounding them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's important to start there because that's just kind of the nature of, this world. Everything has an electromagnetic field. And second, I would say each crystal and person vibrates with a certain color ray or color frequency that they're giving off. And, humans, we have multiple color rays and frequencies that we give off because, first we have, the 7 chakras and then more, and also within the aura, like the color of the aura varies on a few different factors because the aura is made up of a few different energetic bodies. So the overall color will vary based on a person's mental state, mental health, physical health, spiritual alignment, and just different factors that would give these color frequencies in the human aura and energy field. But the crystal has more of a static energy field, and it's more stable because pretty much it is what it is with a crystal. You got a rose quartz, that rose quartz is pink and it's going to stay that way. You feel me? You can't change that. So, but with the human body, it's more of a dynamic energy field, being that it's changeable. It does change, time to time, really all the time, depending on how you're maintaining it or keeping it, or the lack thereof, maintenance or upkeeping of the aura. So that's a similarity. I would have to speak to the DNA because the DNA is the genetic material that carries the blueprint for all living organisms, and it is crystalline in its nature because it forms a double helix structure, which is a geometric arrangement of molecules that crystals can store, transmit, and receive information. And some scientists even refer to DNA as liquid crystal. And honestly, liquid crystal is it's a scientific phenomena in itself. You got crystals and then you got liquid crystals in real time.
Right.
So
to add to that, I've even heard that scientists will refer to our pineal gland as a crystal.
Yeah.
So can you expound on that?
Well, not too much, to be honest, but I can speak to the different crystals within our body. You know what I'm saying? They say we got the magnetite crystals within the brain.
Right.
I think those would be the crystals that are in the pineal gland.
Yeah, that may be what's I'm referring to.
The magnetite crystals there. And then you also got crystals within the bones. The bones make up our whole body. So it's even crystals in the human body, so that's one way that we relate to crystals, and yeah.
Okay, cool, man. It's just so interesting, bro. And it's of course, all the answers wouldn't be laid out here, but it's just to inform them on areas where they probably weren't informed, and then also just create those avenues of thought and intrigue, like the inquisitiveness, you know what I'm saying, of this topic, man. And just, it's like, oh wow, hold on, dog. Let me look into that,
Facts.
Man, because you just never know, man. It's just so beautiful, man. So that leads into like one of the final questions, man. Now, so were there any deep or dark moments in life that you've experienced that the application of your knowledge of crystals has helped you through?
Most definitely, man. Definitely. I would say along the journey, just like with anybody else, you have your ups and downs, your highs, your lows, your good days and your bad days. So I feel like on those bad days, crystals help me just by really helping me get my energy right. You know what I'm saying? It really helped me with the mental alchemy aspect of life that we just have to, deal with. Everybody deals with this. Everybody's an alchemist, and everybody does mental alchemy at the least.
So what does alchemy mean for those who don't know? Like, what does that look like?
Well, what it looks like is the transmutation of energies into something different, a different form. So like, just like how we breathe in the air, and the air, oxygenates our blood. That would be taking the air element and transmuting it into, the water element, because it's coming inside of us and then it's flowing through our blood and, powering our cells, to power our whole system. So, or like when you drink something, you drink you some water, or you eat you some food, more specifically, because with the food it's a solid, and then your body transmutes that solid into a liquid so that you can digest it. And your body takes the different vitamins, minerals, and components that whatever you consume has, and assimilates it and spreads it around the body into the systems and to where it needs to go. So that is how we are all natural alchemists, just by the involuntary functions that our bodies carry out. And so back to how the crystals help with mental alchemy. Basically, when you're working with the crystals, especially on a down day, like speaking to the experiences I had, they can really assist with the whole process of the mental alchemy by providing you with these divine frequencies that they naturally emit, that you naturally embody and emit, and aligning with them so you can raise your vibration, raise your frequency back up from, when it might have went low, you was feeling low, you was down. Or back to me, when I was down, that's how the crystals help me.
Okay.
In those times. And different scenarios, of course, but regardless of the scenario I went through, tuning into the energy of the crystal is what helped me, help me lift myself up and really just get back into my natural flow or natural groove of just like vibrating high, or just vibing at a higher rate so that I can do what I need to do here, carry out the work I'm here to carry out and whatnot.
Yes, sir. So you definitely honed in on energy within that, right? And you know how they say everything starts with us, right? The rewards that we receive, and then the quote unquote consequences that we may be, or adversity, or whatever it is that we may be experiencing. It starts with us and it stems from us because there was some course of action or way of thinking that created the conditions for that experience to on some level, right?
Right.
So do you think, so is that why you honed in on energy so much? Because where we are energetically plays a vital role in our mental state, and then it leads into our emotional state, and then it leads into the actions that manifest from that, which impacts, you know what I'm saying, the world that we, and the environment that we're in. And it also influences how the environment we're in responds to us.
Absolutely.
Which then creates those conditions that we go through, right? So,
right.
Is that why you like focus on energy mainly in those moments?
Definitely, because, you know, as you was explaining that, you know what I'm saying, it just made me think, like you said, emotionally, mentally, physically, you know, these are all energetic bodies that are a part of the aura. So when you said that, it was like, right, you know, exactly. I resonated with it because this energy work that we're doing is in direct correspondence with the aura, with our electromagnetic field, which, you know, creates the experiences that we experience in real time, or is a bigger part of creating that experience, you know? So like, it just goes hand in hand, you know, energy, your aura, crystals, they all go hand in hand, and they all have a symbiotic relationship that, you know, it's just important. You know, it's something that should never be overlooked. Symbiotic relationship between energy, crystals, and your aura should never be overlooked. And, you know, I think part of why I'm here is to bring importance to this. And, you know, everything is energy. Everything vibrates. You know what I'm saying? Everything has an energetic resonance. So, yeah, like, to agree with you, it is all about energy for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So I definitely see why there is an emphasis on the relationship between, you know, our emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being, even physical on to a degree, and with crystals. They're not just rocks, as people try to reduce them to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just how we're not merely just carnal like beings, right? It's all about perspective and the insight and knowledge that we have that will allow us to fully see the value in anything, and let alone make the most of it, right? Because that even goes into like this phone, for example. For some people, it's just a device to call people or scroll through social media and play games. For others, so in that aspect, it's a liability. But for some, it's an asset, because not only can you, it's not just something I can keep in contact with relatives or friends. Just go to social media. I can connect with people from all over the earth, all over the planet. I have access to people that extend resources. So it's a literal device where I have answers right at my fingertips. All I gotta do is ask the question.
Right.
And then, you know, I have access to resources. You see what I'm saying? I can also utilize it to run my business or create a business. You know what I mean? Right now it's even being used to record this podcast. So this is so I like to carry that mindset into other areas in life, man, because I believe that we reduce certain things in life that we don't understand to the point to where it doesn't allow us to fully reap the benefits of these things. Right. Do you feel like you've experienced that? This will be the final question. Do you feel like you've experienced that in your line of work, you know, coming across close-minded people? Or maybe you've experienced moments where you may have came off close-minded to some degree, you know what I mean? And then, aside from that, you know, what are some other things that we probably haven't touched on? You would like the audience to know as far as about this?
I would say, man. So let me hear the first part of the question.
Yeah, sure. You know,
and then,
so the first part of the question was just, you know, how I was just talking about, you know, how people reduce things to their own understanding, and it doesn't allow us to fully reap the benefits of what it can fully offer, right? No matter what it really is, whether it's a person, place, or thing. And I was asking, have you experienced that in your line of work? You know, came across people that are like that may have projected that onto you, and have you, you know, manifested, or have you projected that outwardly from any point in your journey?
Well, I would have to say yes, because I feel like, honestly, man, we all go through like phases where periods of ignorance
Yeah.
and just not knowing and being unaware of the true nature of reality and the reality of things around us, the environment and whatnot. So I do experience this all the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but enough, just because not a lot of people have the awareness of the importance of crystal energy. So, part of my job is to spread the awareness, and help inform people and bring the knowledge so that people do know the importance of crystal energy. So I feel like it's first it's just a part of life, because we all came in not knowing, what I'm saying? We didn't really, everything we knew or know we were taught or we had to learn. And also a lot of us had to go through a process of unlearning and then relearning, reprogramming, because we were taught things that weren't true or just helpful or beneficial to us. So I also accept the challenge though, because, I just see it as a part of, life here. And part of, like I said, part of why I'm here is to bring the awareness and the knowledge. So it's all a part of the game, and it's just a part of the journey of what I'm doing. So I embrace it. It used to be frustrating, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because some things are for some people, but everything isn't for everybody. And also, everybody comes to the proper awareness at different times. So just learning that and really allowing that to just sitting with that truth right there, just allowing me to just be grateful and just do the job.
For sure.
Do the work, man.
That's what comes with it, man.
I'm here to do this work, man. So I'm just grateful,
man. There's always somebody who's ready to receive the work that you have to do, and there's always somebody who's ready to challenge it.
Facts. Facts. Nah, for real.
Man. And then, so yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for your time, your energy, man, your expertise, bro, your knowledge, and just your perspective, brother. I'm grateful for it, man, and I'm sure the people are too. You definitely opened my eyes on more insight of just the story behind crystals, man, and just let it alone, because they have a story just like we have a story. They have a history like we have a history.
Facts, man.
They've been here for millions and trillions of years, just how the original man has been here for millions and trillions.
Right.
So, so with that, man, just let the people know about your products and services, man, and where and how they can connect with you.
So what we have going here at 9silkvibrations is we have the crown protection hats to protect your crown, cover your crown, and also tune in to mental alchemy with the crystals and work with them to protect your aura, fortify your aura, manifest your desires, align with your higher self. And that's what we pushing right now, because you gotta protect your crown. It's vital. So we got the crystal crown protection hats. Also the chakra harmony necklaces. Basically just, authentic crystal necklaces made for the purpose of harmonizing your chakras and, the different chakra systems and whatnot. And, aligning yourself with your higher self, your purpose, purifying your aura, protecting your energy, fortifying your aura, and tuning in to higher dimensional frequencies, to the universe, to Mother Earth, and really just evolution. That's the whole idea behind what we do here, and the products we share with the world is for the rise and elevation of the people, the community, and the environment. So right now, these are the two main products that we are sharing, but we also look forward to incorporating different types of tools for, meditation, protecting your energy and protecting your home, your space, and things of that nature. Elevation tools is what we create and what we share. So if you're looking for the proper tools for elevation on this journey, I would say you could find us on Instagram at 9silkvibrations and on TikTok at 9silkvibrations369, and also on the Instagram and the link in the bio, you'll find a website, and the website is payhip.com/9silkvibrations if you want to just go there. And those are all the places you will find us right now. Just started YouTube, so I'm going to be posting on YouTube here pretty soon.
Okay.
At 9silkvibrations on YouTube. Hopefully I can get this interview on that channel so you all can check it out there, and anywhere else it will be. And that's pretty much it. If you want to contact us, you can, tune in through direct message on Instagram or TikTok. I prefer Instagram though. And that's pretty much it as far as what we got going on. Okay. Stay tuned. We got some new collections coming out, updating the site every week with new products and whatnot. All the products are one-of-one products. They are one-of-one, being every design is unique, and every design is unique and it won't be done again. So it's like everything we create is a unique opportunity to have something that's rare that nobody else will have and that's unique to you. So that's something I love about what we do here. I love to make things personal for the customers doing custom work. I'm always open to do custom things like necklaces, hats, anything, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody that want me to do a custom sculpture for him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's a lot of, basically whatever you can think of, we can create it, you know what I'm saying? We can figure it out, put it together. So I just want to say that last little bit before we get out of here. Grateful for the opportunity to share and just, share my story, what I'm doing, and, be on your platform. I appreciate your platform for what it is and the knowledge and wisdom you're bringing to the community. So it's an honor to be on here, man. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And you also have repair services too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Definitely repair services as well. So if you have a crystal necklace or anything that was damaged or whatever, I'm always open to helping you make a finished product again, so that it's fixed, you know what I'm saying, and back in motion, back in working conditions.
Yes, sir. But there you have it, man. There you have it, family. Here with Achak from 9silkvibrations, talking about the science of crystals and how it relates to the body. I hope y'all really gained some insight and got some value from this. And if you missed anything, feel free to go back, run it back, pause it, slow it down and do your own research.
Absolutely.
So on that note, man, peace, love, and elevation. Thank you to everybody that's been present. Thank you for all my listeners. Thank you, Achak, again for just, creating time and space for this. Signing off.
All right. Peace, y'all. One love.